What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is a storytime video. If you're new here, I'm Para-Sara, and if you like weird stuff like aliens and ghosts, subscribe and notify so you never miss my posts. So a little over a year ago, I did an investigation at the Conjuring house. Now it was a crazy investigation, a lot of stuff happened, but I can't tell you everything about it because there is a show that's going to air in the near future. And legally, I'm not allowed to tell you about it until it actually airs. So for now, I'm gonna tell you about how something actually followed me home. So I did this investigation about a year and a half ago, and ever since I got home, I've had a lot of activity happen here that is reported to happen at the Conjuring house. One of the things that is reported to happen there is that people were experiencing the sensation of being stabbed in the leg. Now, shortly after I got back from my Conjuring house investigation, my boyfriend was experiencing the same thing. He would randomly jump up, grasping his leg, talking about feeling like his leg was being stabbed and it really hurt. Now, mind you, he knew nothing about this detail about people being stabbed in the leg at the Conjuring house. This happened about 5 to 6 times during the 3 months after I got back from that investigation. Other things that have been happening in the house have been tapping sounds, things getting knocked over in the middle of the night, and most recently, we've actually had some really loud slamming sounds happening when we go to bed. It sounds like a really large metal object is being lifted and slammed back down on the ground. The force of the impact is so intense that we can actually feel the floor vibrate. When this happens, we do get a little bit freaked out because it's always happening when we're going to bed, the lights are out, it's pitch black, and we're just not expecting it. And it makes me wonder, like, is it trying to scare us? And I'm also wondering, what type of being is this? Because as far as I know, human spirits cannot lift more than 10 pounds. And this heavy metal object that is being lifted is definitely more than 10 pounds. The only type of entity that I know that can lift more than 10 pounds is not a benevolent being. So what is it? It's freaking me out, man. Another thing that happened recently is one time I went to go to bed, my boyfriend was downstairs, and the cat was locked out of the bedroom. As I'm laying there trying to go to sleep, all of a sudden the bed gets lifted. I'm talking about, it felt like somebody grabbed the mattress from the corner and lifted it up as hard as they could and then slammed it back down. That really freaked me out. I ran out of my bedroom so fast because, to be honest with you guys, it was pitch black and I did not know if this was an intruder who actually broke in and was attacking me or if it was a spirit. So after taking a few deep breaths, I went back in my bedroom and there was nobody there. It wasn't an intruder. This was an actual spirit. When something like that happens, yeah, it freaks me out. I mean, that was quite the adrenaline rush. The reason why I know that I'm being followed is because when I go out of town, my boyfriend says that there is no activity in the home whatsoever. And when I'm traveling, I experience paranormal activity in my hotels. Now this is weird because when you go to a hotel, you see it looks all brand new and clean, and the last thing you're expecting is to experience paranormal activity in there. But for me, I experience all the same activity at home at the hotel. Now the craziest thing that happened recently in a hotel was this crazy weird like growling / pig sound. I was laying in bed in the hotel room and I had just turned the lights out, and all of a sudden I hear this sound that's like, and I'm laying there like, oh my god, like, oh, what is this? At first I thought maybe it's just my next door neighbor and he's snoring. So I told myself it was my neighbor and I tried to just close my eyes and go back to sleep. But then I heard it again. And this time it was so long and drawn out that I'm like, there's no way that this is snoring, because snoring has a rhythm. You have to inhale, snore, inhale, snore. And this was just one super long, drawn out, creepy sound. Whatever it was definitely trying to scare me. None of this stuff used to happen to me before I investigated the Conjuring house. Now, another weird thing that happens is my cat gets really scared of a particular closet in my house. It's the same closet where the slamming sounds are coming from, and when I point the SLS camera at it, there's always a stick figure there. Sometimes there's more than one stick figure and I'm like, oh great, it's bringing friends now. It's a paranormal party in my apartment. So at this point, you're probably wondering how I feel about this. Do I regret investigating the Conjuring house? No, I don't regret it. While this stuff is creepy while it's happening, I am a paranormal investigator, so there's a part of me that wants it to happen. When it's happening, it does kind of spook me out, and it is an adrenaline rush, but that's what I live for. Having something like this follow me around does make it easier for me to capture evidence of the paranormal, so I can't really complain. Now, I do feel like it's worth saying that the reason why I've been followed home is 100% my fault. I don't want you to think that every paranormal location that you investigate is going to have something immediately following you home. That's not quite how it works. In order for something to follow you home, you have to invite it and subscribe to the concept of something actually following you home. On the outskirts of the Conjuring house, there is a wall where the owners invite people to leave their signature and date to kind of show that they've been there. On this wall, not only did I leave my signature, but I also drew my personal portal symbol. Now, when you go to a very haunted location and you leave something behind or you take something with you, you might get followed home, and that's exactly what I did. But whether or not you get followed home depends on the way you conduct your investigation and how you leave the property. If you tell the spirits very clearly that they are not allowed to follow you home right before you leave the property, then you're good. So don't leave anything behind, take something, or say something that gives the impression that you're open to the idea of being followed home, unless you're prepared for your life to change forever. Now, I say forever because the activity that I'm experiencing has been ongoing and there's no end in sight. It's actually increasing. I mean, they're really pushing the limits to see if they're gonna scare me, to try to get a reaction out of me. I mean, they just keep upping their game. Now, I don't want you to feel like you are a victim to the paranormal though. If you have accidentally invited something to follow you home, or you invited it because you thought it'd be fun and now you regret it, there are ways to get rid of it. You can do a cleansing ritual, you can say a prayer, you can do a smudging. Do some research to find out what works for you. But at the end of the day, keep in mind that what really matters is the power of belief and manifestation. If you believe that something can follow you home and harm you, then you might attract a situation where you experience something like this happening to you. But if you truly believe that you're protected, you're going to experience situations where you are protected. You are more powerful than you think, and you are not a victim to any ghost, spirit, or entity. It's all up to you. Now, as you know, I do a lot of investigations here in my house to try to capture the thing that is following me, or the many things that are following me. And I also investigate my haunted doll. So keep an eye out for any of my investigation videos. And if you're interested to see the results that I got from my haunted doll, I will leave a link in the description. Have you ever had something follow you home? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget that you are the creator of your own reality. Well, that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.